Enjoy our 2021 Spring-Fall Travel Show, featuring our upcoming tours for the summer and fall of 2021. So let's get traveling again. Peoria to St. Louis River Cruise, July 9th through 15th. Join us on our Spirit of Peoria, Peoria to St. Louis River Cruise, July 9th through 15th, 2021. On day 1, we arrive in Peoria, Illinois, and spend a relaxing evening before your cruise tomorrow. The Spirit of Peoria is a true paddleboat, actually using its paddle wheel for propulsion, unlike some modern riverboats with purely cosmetic wheels. You will cruise from Peoria, Illinois to St. Louis, Missouri on this relaxing 3-day, 2-night trip. Your trip includes all-you-can-eat buffet meals and live entertainment, such as singing, banjo, ragtime piano, storytelling, historical information, and wildlife sightings. Travel through both the Peoria and LaGrange locks and dams, and you'll have an overnight stay in Springfield, Illinois. Day 3, you tour the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum before boarding the Spirit of Peoria for your afternoon cruise. Board the Spirit of Peoria for your last day of cruising. You will land in St. Louis by early afternoon. The afternoon you visit the Gateway Arch, take the tram, and ride to the top of the 630-foot Gateway Arch for a panoramic view of the surrounding area. You'll learn about the city of St. Louis on a guided city tour. Following the tour, you'll have the opportunity to visit St. Louis Union Station with time for lunch on your own. A visit to the Anheuser-Busch Brewery gives you the opportunity to learn about the brewing heritage and those beautiful Clydesdales that represent the Budweiser brand. In Hannibal, Missouri, learn about Tom and Becky on your Hannibal guided tour. Visit the Mark Twain Boyhood Home and Museum, with many exhibits such as Mark Twain's famous white jacket, first editions of all of Mark Twain's major work, original Norman Rockwell oil paintings, and much more. Travel is in the direction of home, but not before you have one last stop at the John Deere Museum, with its interactive displays on John Deere history. This presentation contains images that were used under a Creative Commons license. Click the link to see the full list of images and attributions. Join us for the Pioneer Woman Tour, July 25th through 29th. Sit back and enjoy the scenery as you travel south to Kansas today. See the statue of the Pioneer Woman, standing stately as a statement to the pioneers. Visit the E.W. Marlin Mansion and Estate and learn the story of the Marlin family, the oil industry that made building this architectural wonder possible. Enjoy free time to explore Pawhuska, founded in 1876 and still has 86 buildings in the downtown area listed on the National Register of Historic Places. There's an included lunch at the Pioneer Woman Mercantile. The Mercantile is a destination restaurant, bakery, and store, allowing you an opportunity to try this southern style of home cooking. While at the Mercantile, you can shop all things Pioneer Woman. This afternoon, you'll head to the Drummond Ranch for a look around. The Lodge is a popular film location of the Food Network show. You'll visit Woolrock Museum and Wildlife Preserve, once the retreat of whaleman Frank Phillips. Now a 3,700-acre wildlife preserve and world-class art museum. Enjoy a tour of Trinity Heights, a beautiful oasis with over 24 shrines, and also the Memorial Gardens located in Sioux City, Iowa. Conclude your trip with a wine tasting at the Valiant Vineyards Winery and Distillery. This video contains images that were used under a Creative Commons license. Click here to see the full list of images and attributions. Route 66 and U.S. Presidents, August 1st through 8th. Day 1 is a travel day. Day 2 brings you to the Rialto Square Theater, a restored vaudeville movie palace. Your tour also includes lunch and a pipe organ concert. Visit the Route 66 Hall of Fame Museum. Visit the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum and Old State Capitol. and also the Lincoln Home National Historic Site, and the Route History Museum, Lincoln's Tomb and War Memorials. Day 4, welcome to the Litchfield Museum and Route 66 Welcome Center. At Henry's Rabbit Ranch, you can purchase some collectibles from the classic filling station. Visit the Mustang Sanctuary, a rescue organization for wild mustangs and burros. Visit the Chain of Rocks Bridge. It's the longest bridge on Route 66. At the National Museum of Transportation, view historic modes of transportation. Our next stop will give you a taste of St. Louis's famous frozen custard. See many colorful murals at the Cuban Murals and Route 66 Info Center. Today, visit Funkyard and get an eclectic look at some art pertinent to the Route 66 tour. You'll visit the Laclede County Route 66 and the History Museum on the Square. Enjoy many collectible cars at your Route 66 Car Museum. Begin your day with a fantastic Caverns tram ride. Enjoy the history of another era at the Harry S. Truman Library and Museum. This presentation contains images that were used under a Creative Commons license. Click here to see the full list of images and attributions. Welcome to the Minnesota Mines and Pines Tour, August 11th through 15th. In Grand Rapids, you'll tour the world's largest collection of Judy Garland and Wizard of Oz artifacts, and Garland's childhood home at the Judy Garland Museum. Tour and shop at the Old Central School in downtown Grand Rapids. Visit the Forest History Center with its exhibits where life is authentically recreated at a 1900s logging camp, showing the historical and cultural impact logging had on both the growth of Minnesota and its forests. Stop for a selfie at Bob Dylan's boyhood home. Before touring, the Greyhound Bus Museum. Arriving in Chisholm, stand in awe as you view the Hull Rust Mine. Before you tour the Minnesota Discovery Center's amazing exhibits, dedicated to the history of underground and open-pit mining in Minnesota. A guided tour of the Sudan Underground Mine, known as Minnesota's oldest, deepest, and richest iron mine, will fill your morning. Stop at the Tower Train Depot. And no trip to the area would be complete without a visit to the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame. Established in 1973, it's since inducted 173 members. In Duluth, enjoy a relaxing dinner cruise with beautiful music and narrated highlights of the harbor on a Vista Fleet dinner cruise. Enjoy a self-guided tour of the historic Condon Estate, better known as the Glensheet Mansion. Visit Gooseberry Falls State Park. Hike or sit and enjoy the splendor of the falls. Explore Split Rock Lighthouse, one of the most photographed and visited spots in the state. Visit the Hinckley Fire Museum and learn about the fire of 1894. Enjoy a stop at Toby's Restaurant and get some of their famous rolls before returning home. This presentation contains images that were used under a Creative Commons license. Click here to see the full list of images and attributions. Fall Mystery Tour, September 10th through 16th. Minnesota Fall Food and Fun, September 17th through 19th. Join Southwest Tours as we enjoy the early fall colors, delicious food, and a Minnetonka cruise on this short 3-day getaway. At the Minnesota Landscape Arboretum, enjoy a tram tour through the gardens and time to shop at the Garden Center. On the St. Paul Skyway Food Tour, explore the best of St. Paul food, such as Mediterranean, African, and Japanese, with a tour of up to 5 different restaurants in the heart of downtown. Enjoy free time to explore the area or just enjoy the luxuries at the St. Paul Hotel. The Cooks of Crocus will lead you in a French-inspired cooking class, ending in a celebration feast. Enjoy the Captain's Brunch and a Lake Minnetonka cruise as you sail past century-old cottages and luxurious multi-million-dollar mansions. So join us for our Minnesota Fall Food and Fun Tour, September 17th through 19th. So this year, travel southwest and go with the best. This presentation contains images that were used under a Creative Commons license. Follow the link below to see a full list of images and attributions. Join Southwest Tour and Travel as we head to the Black Hills and the Buffalo Roundup, September 21 through 25. Arriving in Rapid City, we attend the Fort Hays Chuckwagon Supper and Cowboy Music Show. Step back in time as you tour the Dances with Wolves film set, head to the Chuckwagon for dinner, and then enjoy the Fort Hays Wranglers on stage. The day begins with a visit to Mount Moriah Cemetery, where Wild Bill Hickok and other notable Old West personalities are buried. Then visit the Days of 76 Museum, dedicated to the first pioneers, prospectors, miners, and more. After lunch, tour an underground gold mine at the Broken Boot Gold Mine. Get ready for some off-road adventure on your Buffalo Safari Jeep ride. Trek through the park in an open-air Jeep in search of elk, pronghorns, buffalo, and more. Lunch will be at the beautiful Custer State Game Lodge Resort, followed by a visit to the Crazy Horse Memorial. This evening, enjoy the night lighting of Mount Rushmore. In Custer State Park, witness more than 1,300 American buffalo pass by you only a few hundred feet from your seat at the annual Buffalo Roundup. You will feel the earth tremble as the massive animals and the cowgirls and cowboys thunder past you. Enjoy a guided tour of the world's only corn palace, decorated with several murals made out of corn, native grasses, straw, milo, and sourdough. You'll arrive home with the thunder of buffalo hoofs in your memories, ending your South Dakota adventure. So join us on our Black Hills and Custer State Park featuring the Buffalo Roundup Tour, September 21st through 25th.
He's alive. I would invite him to travel less than an hour south of Chicago to St. John, Indiana, as I did, to see what Shirley and Frank Schilling have done to create their interpretation of the biblical story at the shrine of Christ's Passion. Rising out of an Indiana cornfield is a recreation of the Holy Land, designed to provide the visitor with a life-size interactive journey through the Stations of the Cross. There are 40 life-size bronze statues to depict the traditional stations. What is not traditional is that the visitor becomes part of the journey.
How they put this thing together, it's like you're really back there.
There's the trial before Pontius Pilate. You can stand next to Jesus. Jesus is given the cross. You can almost reach for it yourself. Veronica wipes his face. Jesus falls. Soldiers prepare him for crucifixion. Rising above the half-mile path, 3 crosses appear. The project has taken 8 years and 80 semis full of boulders from Wisconsin. Hard work, but for Shirley and Frank Schilling, it's the realization of a dream.
It just kept growing. It's like the Holy Spirit maybe just kept giving Frank different ideas. Again, it was going to be a straight path, and then one day he got the idea to curve it. Just came to him. Things just kept coming to him.
Down the hill from the cross is the tomb. Is this interactive three-dimensional effect just that much more powerful, Frank?
Oh, it is. If you look at the eyes of the 2 disciples, one of them's looking like, what has happened here?
No detail has been left out. An abandoned shroud leads the visitor to one last station. What's the reaction among people, your congregation, but also those
I think that people generally, they don't expect it. You come out here in this cornfield and all of a sudden you see this, it's amazing. So I think that's almost everyone is just blown away.
Join us on our Grand New England tour, October 2nd through 16th. Sit back and relax aboard our luxury motor coach and enjoy the beautiful autumn scenery as you begin your journey to New England. Our first night is in Davenport, Iowa. Your tour director will be sure to keep you entertained as well as point out all the interesting sights along the way as you continue traveling towards the East Coast. Day 3, you arrive in New York and begin with a guided tour of the Sonnenberg Gardens and Mansion. Sonnenberg, meaning sunny hill in German, sums up perfectly this 40-room estate, greenhouse, and themed gardens, once the stunning home of one of New York's most prominent families. Day 4, the fabulous islands await us on our two-nation cruise, offering historic and natural wonders in both the American and Canadian waters. A delicious lunch will also be served during your cruise. Then you'll stop on Hart Island for a tour through the impressive Bolt Castle.
A lot of people are very fascinated by the love story that is associated with Bolt Castle. George Bolt began building Bolt Castle for his wife Louise. It was to be a gift to her on Valentine's Day. Inconsolable at her death, he did discontinue all work. And many people are drawn by that love story of George Bolt and Louise Bolt and building Bolt Castle for his wife. George Bolt first came to the Thousand Islands in the late 1880s, fell in love with this area, and decided that he would like to purchase some property here for a summer home for he and his wife and their 2 children. And he purchased this Hart Island from a gentleman by the name of E. Kirk Hart. Had a large summer home on it, existing already, made major renovations to it, and stayed in the summer home for a number of summers, until which time he decided to remove it and build what is now here Bolt Castle.
Today, we enjoy a bit of Vermont, beginning with a cruise on Lake Champlain, Vermont's Great Lake. While on board the Ethan Allen, enjoy the stunning views of the majestic Adirondack Mountains of New York and the Green Mountains of Vermont. Following your cruise, you'll take a guided Von Trapp historic tour, where you'll learn about the Sound of Music family as you tour their property and grounds. The Green Mountains provide a magnificent backdrop to the property. All aboard! As we travel on the Maine Central Railroad's famed mountain line, we'll enjoy some of the most dramatic natural scenery in the East as you travel through spectacular Crawford Notch, past sheer bluffs, steep ravines, cascading brooks and streams, and panoramic mountain vistas, across Frankenstein Trestle and Wiley Brook Bridge. We visit the Rocks Estate, which is perched on pristine mountainous terrain. This multifunctional estate includes a Christmas tree farm, maple sugar house, gift shop, and more. Day 7 begins with a New Hampshire Lakes region tour, including Squam Lake, the location of the On Golden Pond film. The afternoon finds you at Castle in the Clouds, a 16-room mansion built on 5,500 acres overlooking the lake and the mountains. This location will give you a great opportunity to catch some wonderful autumn photographs. On day 8, you'll enjoy a full day of sightseeing, beginning with a guided Southern Maine coast tour, which will include York Beach with a Nubble Lighthouse, quaint seaside towns, and the fishing village of Perkins Cove, and so much more. In Kennebunkport, there'll be time for lunch and to explore the many shops and galleries. After your Maine lobster-baked lunch, you will cruise Maine's rocky, rugged shores on your Lighthouse Lovers Cruise, including the Calendar Islands, coastal forts, and up to 7 lighthouses. Day 9, Massachusetts is your destination. We begin with a guided tour of Boston. We'll follow the Freedom Trail, see historic sites such as the USS Constitution, Boston Common, Bunker Hill, Old Granary Burial Grounds, and more. Then take part in one of the most pivotal events of the Revolutionary War that forever changed the course of American history. Meet the colonists, explore the shops, and dump tea overboard during your Boston Tea Party ships and reenactment. You'll then have free time to explore on your own and have lunch at the hall. This historic center is filled with shops, eateries, and carts of handcrafted gifts. Next, we follow our country's 35th president from childhood to the White House at the JFK Presidential Library and Museum. History comes alive with interactive exhibits, presidential artifacts, and video presentations. Day 10, we meet our guide for a tour of Plymouth, America's hometown. Hear stories of the journey our forefathers took aboard the Mayflower as you view the Mayflower II afloat in Plymouth Harbor. There'll be time to explore and see Plymouth Rock and Pilgrim's Landing site. During your pilgrim experience, your costume pilgrim guide will share stories of survival and the pilgrims' relationship with the Native Americans. In Cranberry Country, in addition to a guided tour through the bogs, we'll learn about the history surrounding this famous fruit and see the harvest process in person. Discover the hub of Cape Cod on a Hyannis highlight tour before departing for Martha's Vineyard. Your Martha's Vineyard tour will include the famous gingerbread houses, Island Tabernacle, and antique carousel of Oak Bluffs, as well as Edgartown, filled with quaint shops, eateries, and attractions throughout the tour. Your guide will entertain you with history and stories of Martha's Vineyard. Day 12 finds us homeward bound. Sit back and relax and enjoy the scenery of New England as we begin our journey home. Day 13 includes the Corning Museum of Glass, where you can explore at your leisure. The museum is filled with historical and art glass and offers opportunities to see demos and learn through hands-on exhibits. Day 14, as we draw closer to home, you'll stop for a guided tour of the Basilica of the Sacred Heart. It's located on the campus of the University of Notre Dame. It has over 44 large stained glass windows and murals completed over a 17-year period by the Vatican painter Luigi Gregori. Day 15, your Grand New England tour comes to a close, but you have many memories of the beautiful scenery you've seen on this Grand New England tour with Southwest Tour and Travel. Autumn on the Mississippi, October 7th through 10th. Our Holidays in Branson tour, November 12th through 17th, has such outstanding entertainers as Daniel O'Donnell. We'll see a performance of Jesus at the Sight and Sound Theater. We'll have a guided tour of Branson. We'll see the Johnson Strings performance, C.J. Newson's classic country and comedy, and Branson's Gift of Lights, as well as the Titanic and Rick McEwen's Big Show. Our Christmas in Branson, November 30th through December 5th, features different entertainers such as the Hughes Brothers Christmas Show, Raiding the Country Vault, a guided tour of Branson, a performance of Jesus at the Sight and Sound, C.J. Newson's classic country and comedy, the Doug Gabriel Show, Legends in Concert, Pierce Harrow, and Branson's Gift of Lights. So join us as we go to Branson. On our Christmas Around the World tour, December 1st through 5th, we head to Omaha to explore some of the different traditions for Christmas, such as Germany, Scotland, Greece, the Ukraine, Poland, and we see a special presentation of A Christmas Carol. Our Christmas in Le Mars tour, December 3rd through 5th, finds us in Le Mars. We go to the Arts Center. We do an art project. We see a dinner and a show of A White Christmas. We do Christmas Acres Light Show. We do the Wells Ice Cream Parlor and see Pioneer Village for Christmas. So join us this Christmas and travel Southwest and go with the best. Portions of this video were created under a Creative Commons license. This presentation contains images that were used under a Creative Commons license. Click here to see the full list of images and attributions.